Hello everyone, welcome. I want to talk about my favorite topic, meditation. Why meditation is everything. See, it talks in the Bible, Christ and the writers of the epistles talked about being in the Spirit. Paul talked about being in the Spirit. Christ said, the Spirit. What did Christ say? Christ said, the Spirit is important. The flesh profiteth nothing. Being in the Spirit. Now how are you going to be in the Spirit? Well, you're not in the Spirit now. What you are now is lost in your imagination, lost down in thinking, down in your feelings, your sensations, down in your food, your drink, lost in the senses, lost in your iPhone and your entertainment and your music, and lost in the world. People are confusing. People are contradictory. People say mean things. People have expectations of you. People pressure you. They get inside. So not only are you lost down in your imagination, down there, but the pressures on the outside get inside. So now you're down there, lost down in your imagination and your thinking with the pressures from the outside. So you see, that's where you are now. You're not in the Spirit. You're in the flesh. You're in the emotion-powered virtual, but it's not virtual, really, reality. It may be virtual, but it's not reality of your imagination and your rabbit thoughts and your feelings. So you know how it is when you're really, really sick. When you're really sick, you can't think about anything. You can't focus. You just languish in bed. Well, something like that is the way you are all the time. Maybe not to that extreme, but you're lost in all of your feelings and emotions and thoughts and whirling round and round. And people come with their problems and their issues and their insinuations and their pressures and their challenges and their teases, and it all gets inside. So how are you going to be in the Spirit? Well, that's what the meditation is for. It's a little technique that facilitates pulling back, so you're not lost in your thoughts. I'll give you an example. Imagine for a moment two guys arguing about something, nothing important, but they're arguing, and they're both almost getting angry. And they're totally lost in each trying to make his point. And then all of a sudden, one of them takes a mental step back and says, hey, you know what? It's not that important. And then they both have a good laugh, and they walk away as friends to go have a sandwich somewhere. See what I mean? There's something about standing back, getting the big picture. Parents, in that when they have moments of clarity. I always told the story in my book. I think it's in the book, Putting the Forever Back in Love. And I know it's in the book, My Daughter Doesn't Want to Clean Her Room. That's a very good book. I don't talk about it very much. It's out of print, but if somebody wanted to get it, I could put it up on Amazon in print and Kindle. But most of it is in Putting the Forever Back in Love. But I tell the story of the mom who... it's about 4 or 5 o'clock. She peeks into her daughter's room, and her daughter's staring out the window. And the mom says, is just about to say, you should be doing your homework. What's the matter with you? You got to get your homework done. But then she looks outside, and she sees some children out there playing. And she looks at her daughter, and she sees her daughter's been working so hard lately. She's just a little girl. And all of a sudden, the mom has a moment of clarity. She sees that yelling at her daughter, pressuring her to do her homework, it's not the right thing to do. So the mom says, look, your friends are outside playing. I tell you what, you need some exercise. Why don't you go outside and play with your friends, and then you can do your homework. I'll help you do your homework later. You see what I mean? The mother had wisdom. So, and how big? Because she took a mental step back and got the big picture. That's it. They talk about, when you're looking straight forward at something, then you're sort of focused on it. But if you lift up your eyes and you look at a spot on the wall, say something on the wall, way up on the wall, then when you look at that spot, you notice how your peripheral vision opens up. You can try that. Look straight ahead, but then look up at something on the wall and notice how your peripheral vision opens up. You see more to the sides. See, getting the big picture. You have to learn how to go through life with always get the big picture. So you're standing back a little bit. So you're not pulled into things. You understand that? So can you see how the man didn't get pulled into the argument because he stood back and got the big picture and said it's not that important? You saw that mom didn't get pulled into pressuring the daughter and becoming angry. She stood back and got the big picture. The first thing you need to be able to stand back from is your own thoughts and imagination and emotions, that squirrel cage of thinking, planning, thinking, worrying, scheming, reliving the past, thinking of the future, worrying. See? You need to stand back from that so you're not lost in it. So, yeah, the thoughts are still there. I'm not talking about trying to blank thoughts. No, you see what's there. You see the thoughts, but you're just not lost in them. You're the observer of thought instead of being in the thought. Well, I talk about that in my meditation package, my 4-part meditation package, and also in my free meditation. So that's what you need to be able to stand back and get the big picture. Now, when you stand back and get the big picture, you're no longer lost in emotion. You're no longer lost in thoughts. You're no longer lost in worry. Lost in images. You're not lost in images. Now, with that mental stance, with that frame of mind, you are open to your intuition. Your intuition is from God. It's wordless. It's silent. You just know. That's why you can have wisdom, reason, patience, long-suffering, kindness. When you stand back and get the big picture, where does it come from? It comes from God, through the faculty of intuition. Then you are closer to the Spirit, closer to God, who created thee, and who knows what's good for you. You think you know what's good for you. How many times have you had some big plan or scheme and it didn't work out? He gives you wisdom. He gives you insight. He gives you realizations. He gives you understanding. He gives you patience, not only with others, but with yourself. See, one of your other problems is you're struggling with yourself, trying to make yourself good, see what I mean? So learn the simple technique of standing back. So you're not lost in thoughts and emotions. Then you are closer to the Spirit. Then when you carry that with you out into the world, then you walk in the Spirit.